Hi, I'm Dr. Mike, host of the iTunes podcast, Psychiatric Secrets Revealed with Dr. Mike, but that's not why I'm here today. I'm here to talk about saving money, this time using something called traditional wet shaving. Now, most men shave every day or at least many times a week, and every time you shave, you're going to be using a razor. In most cases, we're talking about a Mach 3 or one of the new Fusion razors, and those cartridges are quite expensive. For instance, I recently priced some Fusion razor cartridges at my local drugstore, and they were over $3.50 a piece. And so you think about $3.50, most people change their razor once or their blades once a week. That's approximately close to $200. Well, if we could save most of that, there would be money in your pocket. And the way to do that is to go with something called traditional wet shaving. Most of you probably recognize this device. It's a double-edged razor. This one's made by a great company called Merkur. It's a German company. They still manufacture razors. This one probably costs about $45. However, I can tell you that Merkur also sells some great razors that are a little more simple, a little less heavy for $25 to $35, and that would be a great start. You can also get razors like this just in someone's old medicine chest or an estate sale. Gillette makes a razor called the Speed Shaver, or at least they did, between 1940 and 1970. That razor was so well constructed that people are still using them today, and you can find them, as I said, on places like eBay or an estate sale or maybe in Grandpa's medicine chest. If you do get a used razor, make sure you carefully remove and dispose of the blade, handling it on these edges, not on these edges, and then thoroughly clean it with something like scrubbing bubbles in a toothbrush or simple green in a toothbrush, something like that. So Merkur makes a great razor. You can also get razors from other countries like India, Egypt, China. Those razors usually sell for around $10 to $15. Not quite the same quality as the Merkur, but they still will probably serve your needs. Just remember that you also have to pay shipping costs even if you're buying off of Amazon, so try to get a good deal there too. So we have the Gillette Speed Shave, which you can get on eBay used or just in an estate sale. We have a variety of Merkur razors. Again, go for the simple one. And then we have some of these other razor brands like Lord or Retro Razor. These are the cheaper versions that are coming from these other countries. All of them would work. But that's not where you're going to save the money. You're going to save the money with the blade. And the blades can be purchased locally or more economically off the internet. Places like Walgreens, CVS, Walmart, dollar stores do carry double-edged razor blades, and you can get them for under 20 cents, especially at the dollar store or places like Walmart. Those blades might be just fine for you, but they do vary in quality, and every face and every blade it's a different combination. And so a lot of people will do is they'll buy a blade sampler at places like westcoastshaving.com, and for very little money they might get 5 different razor blades or 15 or 10 different razor blades, different manufacturers, and they get to try out all those different blades and see which one works best for them. Once they find the brand that they like, they buy them in quantity, like maybe 100, and then they save quite a bit on those blades. And most of those blades are coming from other countries than the U.S., places like Egypt, Israel, India, Russia. They still have quite a few people there using these double-edged razors, so they still make quite a few good razor blades. And that's where you're going to save the money. A year using a 20-cent razor blade once a week is going to be about $10. Using a $3.50 Atra cartridge is going to be about almost $200. If you think, for instance, if you change your blades more frequently, which many men do, you're going to save even more money. Another way to save a little bit of money is to get rid of that goop in a can and go with shaving soap. Here's some imported shaving soap. It comes in this nice wood container. This puck here will last about a year. It smells wonderful, but when you buy it like this, it's pretty pricey. Maybe ask her for a birthday or something. If you just buy the puck and put it in your own bowl, much less expensive. But if you're looking for the ultimate price reduction, you can get good shaving soap at places like Walmart or Walgreens. The brand name is Vanderhagen, and it comes in a couple of different flavors, different varieties. They all work pretty well. They usually cost under less than $2 a puck, and those pucks will typically last 3 to 4 months. If you're going to use a puck you've got to get a brush. Now this is my favorite brush. It's called a Rooney. It's made in England. This is kind of pricey. It uses badger hair, which is the nicest, softest kind of hair on your face. You can also get brushes that use boar hair, which are much cheaper. Vanderhagen also sells these usually at Walmart or Walgreens for $7, $8, $6. That's going to work just fine until you decide if you want to continue or not. Those brushes will certainly last a couple of years. A brush like this will probably last up to 15 years. So this is the better long-term value, but you have to use it for that amount of time. So I would suggest getting the Vanderhagen brush to start. You can sometimes buy kits that have a puck of soap, a bowl, and a brush for $10, $12 from Vanderhagen. Really good deal. What you normally do is I'll wet this surface, wash my face, keep it wet, wet the brush, give it a little shake, get a little soap on here, and then just work it into my face, like this, all the way around, and I build a nice thick lather, not watery, and then I'm ready to shave, and it works really well. When using a razor like this, you have to learn some techniques too, and I would recommend observing or watching some of the videos on YouTube by a guy named Mantac. I think it's M-A-N-T-A-C is how you would spell his name. I think it's Mantac59 or something. But in short, you have to make your own angle with these kinds of blades, so about 30 degrees. You just do about a 1-inch stroke down as you go, because you're going to be changing that angle a little bit to 30 degrees because your face is shifting its angle. And there's a blade here and a blade here. It's a double edge razor, so switch it around back and forth a little bit so you're using both sides sort of evenly. Works really, really well. The other thing is with these razors, besides doing the 1-inch strokes and the angle, you never ever press down because all of the weight is on one single blade as opposed to the 3 to 5 blades on current cartridge razor systems. So all that weight is on one blade. If you press down, you're going to nick yourself. Now, I almost never nick myself using this kind of a razor, so it's very possible. Just don't press. And as you get used to the process, it's going to take a little longer to maybe just get used to it. But after about a week or so, you're going to be a pro. So my advice is, if you want to save some money, go retro. Okay, and here again, the Merkur or the Gillette, which you can get on eBay or estate sales, or some of these other brands like Lord or Retro Razor. All those will do the job. This is probably my favorite, and the Gillette's a pretty good deal too. You can get razor blades very inexpensively. You can get a lot of the supplemental things that you need locally, although you can't get this locally. And you're also helping the environment because these blades are 100% biodegradable as opposed to the plastic case blades that you get in a cartridge. The plastic doesn't go away. Lastly, if you have an ethnic beard, in other words, a real kinky beard, maybe you're African American or Mediterranean, these blades are much, much, much less likely to cause bumps. So a good reason for that too. Give it a consideration. A couple $100 a year at least. Can't go wrong. You have a nice shaving experience. If you really love it, go for this more expensive stuff. You could always ask for it as gifts or just splurge once in a while. It's going to last you forever. Oh, I also wanted to mention that a really good resource, there's many on the web, but the Badger and Blade is a wonderful resource that has all sorts of people that do wet shaving. They're very happy to answer any question. They're very knowledgeable and nice folks. If you get stuck or if you have questions about anything when it comes to shaving or brushes or soap, they have the answer. Go there, do a little bit of prowling on that site, and you'll learn a lot more about this kind of fun topic.